Welcome everyone to Google Cloud Next and a breakout session focused on customer data in e-commerce. My name is Jeremy Woodlee. I'm a managing director at Accenture. I'm responsible for the alliance between Google and Ads and Accenture. I joined Accenture a year ago from Google, where I spent 11 years managing partners as part of the Google Marketing Platform. So we wanted to dive into the opportunity here. I think it's good to start with the size of the opportunity. Forecast right now around $17 trillion in e-commerce market potential by 2027. We're currently at 10 trillion already. We've seen a really strong acceleration in the last few years due to the pandemic of really existing secular trends. People have been shifting their purchasing behavior more and more toward e-commerce, but we saw, as everybody spent a lot of time at home on their computers, that get accelerated even more. That change has unlocked a lot of potential, but also opened up a lot of problems about how to address this. And we'll talk about today here is about how Google and Accenture have built an offering that we call customer data architecture to address that problem. That is fundamentally about putting customers at the center of our mutual clients. The core issue that we're facing right now is that consumer behavior really has fundamentally shifted. We've gone from a linear purchase path, the very traditional one where you go into a retail store, look at products and make a purchase, to a non-linear path, to an always-on, chaotic, touch a person in a million different ways, a path for most people to buy a product or learn about a product. This is the reality for consumer experience right now. I think we all do this every day. We are, looking online, we're searching for different things on Google or other places. We are, looking at different apps or looking at recommendation sites. We're asking friends, obviously, we're on Instagram or Facebook or what have you, socially speaking. And that path has become very nonlinear. That's an opportunity and a challenge, clearly, particularly as you look at what it means to become consumer-centric and how you actually address the consumer. Fundamentally, companies are built into silos for good reason. So you need people that are great at advertising. You need people that are great at loyalty programs or building great site experiences in your apps or your websites. But those silos mean that you don't have a unified view of who that consumer is to be able to talk to them in a non disjointed manner. The ID ecosystem is degrading every day. You already have IDs, third-party IDs disappearing from Apple's ecosystem. You have the same coming from Google's ecosystem. That's real as we look at, trying to provide better digital experiences across all these different channels. The IDs that would really tie that together are disappearing. So we have to look at that from a fresh eye. This has resulted in general with a real disjointed customer experience. There's so many different ways to talk to customers and interact with them. It's hard to do this. And it's hard to analyze the impact of all this as we look back and look at, the different marketing and advertising touch points. Very difficult to do this. So what we want to talk about today is what do we do about this? How do we go after this? Again, the core message for me is put the customer at the center of your business. And how do you do that? Fundamentally is by organizing the data that you have around them, getting a single view of that, building a better analytical capabilities around who they are and the value to their organization, and then activating against that, finding ways to actually talk to them in a personalized manner. Accenture and Google have unique marketing leading solutions in this space. We have, between the two of us, the technology, the media, and the technical and service capabilities to be able to pull all this together and be able to deliver real-time marketing at scale. And we'll double click into data organization in a second. It's really core of our offering, but I don't want to short shrift the analytics and activation piece, which is an important aspect. It's really important that you find ways to analyze the value of these different consumers, put them in segments that have value to you, lifetime value, segmentation, or churn or propensity to buy, attribute the marketing activities to outcomes that you as a retailer care about. Like selling something, or maybe a brand advertiser cares about brand awareness. You just have to be able to segment and understand who they are. And often that doesn't mean a one-to-one understanding as much as an understanding of who you think they are and being able to create the right messaging around that. Activation is about that messaging, right? Pushing that back into the own media channels that you have, a website or an app, pushing back into CRM and loyalty programs, And then, of course, paid media and talking to possible new customers, existing customers through paid media. Well, but why don't we double click a little bit right now into the data organization? And this is where what we've developed with what we Accenture have developed with Google is a foundational underpinning of everything you would want to do in this space. We are making Google Cloud and BigQuery in particular the source of truth about who their customers are and the value of those customers. This golden record. What does that mean? How do we do that? You start by ingesting data. So you got to start getting the data from all the different places that we have data. You could get data from your paid media advertising, from your own media site analytics, systems, from your CRM loyalty system that you use to talk to consumers via email, from second-party data and third-party data sources that are valuable to you as a retailer. Lots of different data. So you got to get it in. You got to pipe it in. You got to put it into a place. You got to start to unify that data and create customer models, data models around that to be able to unify data and be able to get views of individual identity as much as you can, but also about group identity, starting to understand different groups of types of people that are buying different things, have different experiences that have value to you, or you're destroying value by giving them a terrible experience. It's important to be able to unify that and really understand who those customers are. Next up is into the modeling that I talked about a little bit earlier, being able to use AI and ML to be able to understand what are the different valuable segments of users that you have and being able to segment those into lists that you can do something about. And that's where we start to talk about the activation again. You're starting to push that out and activate value for the enterprise. I think it's important to understand this is not a simple process. This is something that has a lot of different moving pieces. And something, though, that we've done, Accenture and Google, over 50 times globally. We've done this for, all kinds of different, retailers, consumer packaged goods companies, telcos, all kinds of different companies. And that's a unique capability. I think I just like to describe this in a spectrum. Often you have a SaaS-based approach where you have, a piece of software package that is the same for everybody. You sign a license, you use it to being able to get a view of this customer. And the other end is a fully bespoke. You just build exactly what the client wants, right, from ground up. The customer data architecture solution we have is very much in the middle of that. I call it the Goldilocks zone. It is both certainly bespoke. You're building exactly what the client wants, and no more, no less. It's built on their own technology, they own their own data records within BigQuery they own. But because we've done this over 50 times, we have assets and accelerators that make it much easier for us to build this quickly. So this is something you can do in 3 to 4 months for a MVP quite easily, and then build upon that. So it's a very unique offering for in the market right now, and it's had a lot of success being able to reach out to people and make retailers' lives better. Let me talk about some examples here very quickly. An office supply retailer saw an opportunity to take their loyalty data and create segmentation of value, start to understand who their best customers are and what they like to buy. And that started, what they wanted to do is use that to make better product strategy, category strategy decisions about, what kind of products do they want to be able to, focus on and build upon, what inventory do they need to have. So we saw a $29 million margin uplift from this effort, $68 million in cost savings identified through inventory reduction. What I love about this story is that we're taking online data to affect offline choices, particularly around supply chain, product decisioning for a major retailer with huge impact. Just to wrap up, we see the opportunity here about investing in capabilities with the client, about building the capabilities at the client to be able to understand who their customer is, to be able to then deliver customized, personalized experiences throughout the marketing and advertising experiences they deliver. We think that the upside really here is the ability to build sustainable growth, 1.5% to 5% sales growth that is perpetual and iterative and capable of sustaining itself, because what they're doing is they're investing in themselves. They're investing in their own view of data, the data quality of that. They're investing in AI and ML capabilities. And we believe this leads to a path of real-time marketing ability to, in real time, deliver personalized experiences that based on what the retailers already know about the customers. We think that's interesting and powerful. And we believe this is an area where Accenture and Google together can offer a really, truly differentiated solution and an opportunity for growth among retailers. Thanks for your time and have a good day.